Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining today. We're going to be talking about the lunar eclipse that is happening in a couple of days. And so oh, y'all are not going to believe the opportunity that come my way, right? So I got an email the other day. So I've been on YouTube for a long time, off and on, off and on. Uh, I was just gonna say we're mending our relationship together, YouTube and I, YouTube and me. Anyway, so so I got an email the other day. So a long time ago, when not a lot of people were on YouTube, right? And it was like starting to like really get going. I was asked, I wasn't the only one, but there was a lot of people that were on that were doing really well. And we were asked if we wanted to ever like if basically if we wanted to be their guinea pigs, like did we want to participate when they rolled something out new or want to be part of this what their study or I mean in my world it's called a study, right? But they're sort of whatever it's called. Anyway, I said yes. So every time something comes out in the past, every time something had come out, I'm always one of the first ones to be able to experience it and then give them feedback or they're watching my channel or whatever, right? Well, because I had stopped YouTube and the algorithm considered me, it has just recently stopped considering me a dead channel, right? Because I hadn't posted anything. It was like once a year, twice a year I would post. Anyway, I've been working with that algorithm and really doing things. That's why you see me changing things up because I'm trying to like get it to see that I'm a live channel again, right? And that's why it like continues to like take subscribers from me. That's why we have these problems. Anyway, so I a signal to me that I'm finally back on, and the algorithm is recognizing me is that I received an email saying I am one of the first because they're going to be rolling this out for both things. I'm one of the first that's going to be for the posting. So remember I told you guys the community page is actually going to be a community page where you guys can post too. Now, only you guys will be able to see it if you're subscribed, right? You don't have to be a member, but just subscribed. And only you if you're subscribed, and we'll put like a limit on it. Like if you've been with me for, a couple months or over years or whatever, then you can post as well. So you can post your animals, your cat, you can post anything that you're thinking, basically anything, right? So it's an actual community because we had asked about that a long time ago. So that's going to be rolling out for us that we get to experience. But the second part the other thing that I'm really excited about and just became live yesterday is that my videos are now going to be dubbed in several languages. So, isn't that exciting? Like it's an actual dubbing. I'd like to see how y'all are gonna see it. So, my question to you or my ask to you is, if you could, so the next video that I upload, which is going to be this live that I'm going to cut down into a video and upload, if you can share it out, if you know people with different languages, and these are the languages that are available right now as French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish. Now, Hindi, Indonesian, and Japanese can have errors in it because they're still working on that, right? Again, we're part of the first ones. And this is an actual dubbing where I've seen it where I mean, I've seen it where somebody else was doing it, but they're paying a lot of money to have it done on their channel. And it's like 2,000, 5,000. Like I don't know, it's a lot of money per month to have it done. So this is a real big opportunity that has come my way. See how opportunities are coming to everyone. I have been working so hard. Y'all have been working so hard. But if you guys just know that Indonesian, and Japanese are they're still trying to tweak those three languages. But French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish, if you can share it out to them, they will be able to listen to me and hear me and see me speak in that language, right? And it's really cool how AI has done this. And this is why I'm telling, we said this a year ago, right? I've been playing with AI for a long time. I don't think it's anything to be afraid of, right? I think it's a great opportunity. We're going to be having it's going to be putting me in a bigger space, right? Because you can see me all over the world now, but only if you speak English will you really understand what I'm saying, right? Now it'll be me speaking to you in French and me speaking to you in German, right? Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, right? So it's a huge opportunity that's come my way. Um, and I had to earn it back because, I decided to quit YouTube a while back and then I came back. So, these are I'm saying this because I'm excited and I want to thank each one of you. This would not be possible if you guys did not support me, if you guys did not help me. I mean, y'all were so good at like, let's get to that 4,000 hour views. You remember that? And then we actually got back and I got into where I could do members and I got all of that. So, I couldn't do this without you. And I want you to be part of each part of this journey because I want you to know that whatever your dreams are, yes, I have Saturn in my second house and I have to work hard, but I don't always have to work hard, right? I just have to, I'm learning how to like transmute that way. But I want you to be a part of this because I want everybody to know if you put your energy and you see your dreams, they can come true, right? That this is a gift, an opportunity that I did not see coming, right? Right now my focus is let's build this community, let's build this channel back, and I have the goal of 100,000 subscribers this year, which I know we can do. I know we can do because this core group does not fail at anything. We never have, right? We may put it off a little bit sometimes, but we don't fail, right? So, isn't that exciting, guys? Those are the two things I wanted to say. Thank you so much, my members, for becoming a member. For those of you that want to be a member, um, it is $4.99. You can press that join button down here. You'll see it after, or you can go on my page. I will put a link in the description of this live so that you can just easily go to the link. It is $4.99. You guys know YouTube takes half of that. But what I wanted to say, and my members know, I just put up all of the per sign where I went in depth about the actual houses that are activated for the month of March, and we went deep. Um, my goal was to help you navigate through this March, and I'm already going to start working on well, actually, I already started looking at April, right? So, also becoming a member, you always get videos. Any videos that I do, those go to you first. And then, 24, 48 hours, depending on, it could be as little as 6 hours that the rest of YouTube gets it, right? You guys are like my core group and you get those perks, okay? I will be doing tarot on there and I've been just really busy. I really wanted to get this March because I had the eclipses on here and I had so many other things going on. I really wanted to get those out to you guys specifically. But if anybody is not a member and would like to become a member, there is really good information on there. Those videos were what, like almost an hour long per sign. Yeah. So let's talk about this lunar eclipse. Thank you everyone for joining. I really, really appreciate it. If you could share this out to everybody. And I would actually like to see if it goes out. It should go out to the dubbing part too. So, but again, this is all new. Nobody's really ever done this. We're like all learning. We're like the first ones to get this particular thing about the dubbing. So on March 13th, 14th, please forgive me if my pointer stops working. From now until the beginning of 2026, this is really, really, really important for everyone. Uh, this is where Neptune is going to be going back and forth. She's at 29 degrees on the 13th, right? So back and forth, illusion, delusion, all of that, but fantasy, dreams, magic, all of that, all of that's coming. I mean, there is no good or bad. It's our perception of what is good and bad, right? Like we're the ones that attach the meaning to what comes, right? Do you understand that? Like that's why for some people it would be a good thing, for other people it would be a bad thing. It's a matter of perception, right? We have these things going abound. This is why I did those videos and was very, very detailed with you guys. The best way, not the only way, but the best way, the message I'm getting is the best way that we're going to get through this, because Neptune is here, then she's going to go here, then she's going to come back here, then she's going to go here, then she's going to come back, and she's going to do that until Saturn comes right here with her, and then they both come here. Okay, so from now, and that's at the beginning of 2026, and I will do a video on that because I'm about to do a video on Saturn and Chiron for you guys, for the members, and really delve into the Saturn Chiron. Okay. Anyway, so from now until then, there's going to be like, oh, I see it. Oh, is that what I'm seeing? Oh my God. Oh my God. And this is the thing. The only way, I said this again, it's not only, the best way that we are going to get through this is to know thyself. That's what I keep hearing. Know thyself, right? We have been working on knowing thyself as that North Node had come this way in Aries for 18 months, right? So now it's here, right? You got to know yourself. You're going to have to understand, am I seeing that? And if I'm seeing that, what is my judgment on that? Like, what is my belief system? Because your belief systems are going to be challenged. Y'all know Daddy Saturn likes to test you. They're going to be challenged. They're already being challenged, right? And he's just started in that 22 degree, right? So it is very important as you, because people can look at it this way. Oh, I got to be really, really good with myself to be able to understand. Or you can see that because you're in this space of transformation and beauty, and there's magic and manifestation, you can get lost in there. The only way that you're going to come through that and bring what you want down from the ether, down from the other realms, down from your higher self, down from your other lives, right? Is to know. It's almost like having your notebook. It's almost like having your phone when you go to the grocery store and already having the grocery list, because once you get in there, you're like, oh, I forgot what I needed because I just want everything, right? Like you can get confused. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is have your list, right? So that when you go into the grocery store, yes, it's lovely to look at these other things, but what's on your list? What are you bringing? Right? Does that make sense? Like that's the way they're giving it to me. So this is the beginning of that until the beginning of 2026. Okay, remember I have been talking about this for 3 years now, 2.5 years. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about if we can just get through 2025 and 2026, we're going to be so much better in 2027. Right now is that time that I have been talking about for 2.5 years. Okay, so let's get back to the eclipse. The lunar eclipse in Virgo. It is going to be happening at 23 degrees and 57 minutes. Okay. So if anybody has any planets from, I mean, to me, I would do 3 and 4 orbs. So from 20 to 19 degrees of Virgo, all the way till 26 degrees. If you have a planet between those degrees, that is really, really going to affect you and have some changes. The conversation is going to change slightly because you're going to feel it a little bit more than everybody else. Okay. But also, if you have any planets here at the same degrees, at 19 degrees or through 25, 26 degrees, right? It's going to change the conversation up a little bit, right? Does the MC count if 21 degrees MC in Virgo? Yes. MC is just telling you that it's at the top of your chart. Okay, so it's probably your ninth or 10th house, right? So your ninth house, 10th house, right? Your ninth. I mean, it's the line where your ninth and 10th house are. Okay, so it's very, very important. The MC is just telling you where it's located. That's the highest part of your chart, right? So the MC just means that's where you're most seen. That's where you're most known. That's where your reputation is. That's where fame, right? Fame. When somebody has fame, they're seen a lot, right? That's fame. So the MC is at the top. It's just telling you that's where you're most seen, right? Now, if that's where you're most seen and it is at the top for you and you have a 21 degree something, what was it that you had? Um, I can't read that part, but whatever the 21 degree is, like, because it's 23 degrees, it's going to be right there, right? It's going to be right here, right? Right here. It's talking to the moon, which is going to eclipse, right? So those are very important. All right. The other ones that are going to feel it a lot is not a lot. Don't get scared, Capricorn. I know y'all are like you've been through a lot, but you'll notice it more, right? Is Capricorn and Taurus. And then we have this Uranus and Taurus who's really going to be like, oh, yeah, you think you know? Yeah, you don't even know. It's like me. I know I'm doing really well, and I know that this Uranus gives me freedom, right? The dubbing that now I'm part of, it gives me freedom, right? To do more, to be more seen, to see it, right? Um, but I had no idea that that was coming for me, right? I had no idea I was going to have that opportunity. Does that make sense? And that is Uranus and Taurus, right? That's what's going on. That's that type of conversation could be happening. You, scared. Don't be scared, my beautiful Cappy. You've already been through the worst part. You've already been through the worst part. It's all about building for you, Cappy. It's all about building. Okay? Like, these are good things, but there are some things that need to be released. Okay? There are some things that need to be let go of. And we mostly have these things because it's a habit. It makes us feel comfortable. I would even say we get lazy. That's old thinking. We're tired. We've been through a lot. We're tired. We don't even know what to keep or let go sometimes because we're so freaking tired, right? And then we have people and things and situations coming at us constantly, and we're like, "Oh, let me try to remember to let go of something that I forgot I even had." That makes sense? Like you guys need to be more compassionate about yourselves. Venus retrograde. She's asking that question. Are you giving yourself the same grace that you give everybody else? Right? Exactly. Okay, so this lunar eclipse is going to be happening at 23 degrees and 57 minutes. These will be, everybody's going to feel it. So for the next, it's mostly 1 to 4 months that this energy, like you really notice it. But I've seen it for stubborn people or people that have this on in their chart for we all have it for a reason. I've seen it like right at the last day of a 6 month cycle, right? Which means their solar didn't come in until that finished. Their solar gift, solar eclipse, did not come in until after that lunar. Now that isn't always true. That is my theory because that's what I've seen. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. When I'm talking about like from now to 4 months, this is when there's completions. There is something or some situation or someone or some partners that need to be released. And even if You're not with that partner anymore. You still have an attachment. And I'm going to talk about that specific aspect for everyone because that partner may not be here anymore, but you still have an attachment. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing that you want to not live the rest of your life with. So let's get through this, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Um, so we can get clues, we can glean from this lunar eclipse being in Virgo, right? So Virgo is a beautiful sign. But when we're speaking about completions, what would cause Virgo not want to have the completion? Right? They're overcritical. What's their characteristic that they don't really need anymore? Right? They can be overly organized, overthinking, overcritical, or they can be the complete opposite and refuse to do anything about the red flag. They'll see it. They see the red flags. They see the situations. They see the people. They see how people are treating them, but they are refusing. Like they're consciously refusing. That's the difference between Virgo and another sign is they're smart. They know that they're specifically ignoring those red flags and turning away, right? So maybe it's that. Maybe it's that you are way too hard on yourself, right? And for each sign, it's going to be in a different area of your life. But there is something over here. This is your south node. This is the portal to your other lives that have come through that this makes you feel so comfortable, right? It's not necessarily a good thing all the time because if you've outgrown it, it's there for no reason and it's a hindrance, right? So, but it feels so comfortable and it's a habit and that's what you always do. So you haven't released it, right? On top of the fact that you got life coming at you and people coming at you and things coming at you. And we are Pluto and Aquarius. I told y'all, there are going to be things for the next 19 years that you have never seen. And you have to be like, what is that? Is that even true? Like, I've never seen that. On top of this Neptune at 29 degrees, who really is egging that on, right? So, there's something here that needs to be released, right? From your energy field, okay? It just needs to be transmuted. As an alchemist, I would say transmute it. It's just something that doesn't need to be carried anymore. You don't even use it. You don't even need it. You've outgrown it, right? So I understand from past trauma that you're like, I don't want anything taken away. This is not, depending on if you have been working, which my group and people that know me have, if you've been working on your stuff, you don't have to be afraid because you're seeing the clues. You've been seeing the clues for the last however long you've known me, right? You see the clues, you act accordingly, right? So if there's something that needs to go, it's most likely over the next 4 months, 6 months for some, that it was something you didn't even need anyway. You're not even there anymore. That person that you constantly think about how they did you wrong and but you want them back and da da da, they're not there. They've gone on with their life. It's time for you to move on with your life, right? Make sense? Okay. So, but on that day specifically um for the full moon, that's what this full moon is about. And yes, you can do a ritual, you can take steps, but all it's doing, this is destiny. This is your fate. This is like, this is why I tell you guys, it doesn't matter how much you mess up, or you think you messed up, or you think you're so far gone off of your path. We have things like this where the eclipse comes and it's like, no, you're going this way, right? That's what it does. It's like putting you back on your path. It's like destiny and fate. And I've talked about this in other videos where I said, as these things come about for me, and I showed you guys, oh, in this year when that happened, I got this opportunity, and fate was here, right? Like I think I told you guys on in one of mine, I just come back from out of the country, and I was 2 hours. That's no, that's two different ones. I was 2 hours late for my interview. Still told them no when they gave me the job because I'm not working in regular medicine. I want specialized. Like I was a brat about it. Like it didn't matter what I did. I was meant to have that career. It didn't matter what I did. Like I messed that stuff up big time, and it was during an eclipse. It was during that energy time, right? It didn't matter how much I messed up. It was on my path and in my fate to have that career, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the thing with the lunar eclipse. It doesn't matter what you try to do. It's good to be aware of it so that you're not in fear, right? And that you can make an educated choice, right? When these things come about. But it doesn't matter. It's your fate. It's on your path. It doesn't matter how much you mess up, right? So I don't want you to have anxiety and be stressed out and have some fear. Of course, you're going to have some fear because you know who he is. Pluto loves to throw fear. Pluto is like, they're gonna stand in their power. So the more fear I throw at them, the more they will get mad, get upset, and understand how they can do things, right? So, yes, there is some fear there, right? I may not perceive the fear the way that you guys perceive it, right? Everybody has their perception because I've worked with Pluto, aware of my work with Pluto, consciously worked with Pluto for over 2 decades, right? He's been prominent in my life. He is prominent in my in my chart. So I've already told y'all, when I see Pluto, yes. Do I get fear? Do I get upset? Yes, but I know to jump. I jump. I do what it is that I'm afraid of. I've learned that through Pluto. So I may not receive the fear the same way you receive the fear. But what I've learned is the more educated and understanding I can see what's going on, then I can make that educated decision. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So there is going to be fear, but it's almost like all he wants you to show him is that you can, even in fear, stand in your power. He's not saying not to be afraid. He's saying he wants you to know how powerful he is, right? So honor your feelings and be afraid, but be powerful. And as soon as you do it, he's off to something else. Like that's the way I can describe it to you. He's off to something else, right? So he's at play in here. That's what I'm talking about him. Okay. So we have this lunar eclipse that's going to be going on for the energy for the next 6 months. So there's completions on top of all of this and the completions. There's like several levels of completions. And we're not just talking about ourselves. We're in Pluto Aquarius. We're talking about humanity. We're talking about the globe. We're talking about countries. We're talking about communities. We're talking about states. We're talking about regions. We're talking about our local community as well as our smaller community here, right? Like we're talking about all of that. There's levels and levels, right? So on this day with the lunar eclipse, um, the eclipse, so the moon is going to be trining Uranus. Okay, that's really important because look at these degrees. 22 to 29. That means they're active. That means they're going to express as much as they want to. Like, they're going to peak at their expression. They're expressing, I can say it this way, they're being the most. Okay, they're just being the most. You know, whatever that is. Venus being the most is way different than Pluto being the most, right? So, with Uranus, who loves, think about an Aquarius that loves to drop a bomb on somebody and then sit back and watch the chaos. That's Uranus. But where do you think we get it from? We get it from Uranus because he's our ruler. He's our co-ruler with Saturn, right? Any Aquarians out there? He's our co-ruler. So we love to drop a bomb and then watch the chaos. It's not like we're trying to cause harm. We just, it won't be like a bomb that you're going to hurt yourself with. It's just like, it gets you to think. It gets you to be aware. It gets you to move in a direction that you were stuck and didn't move. That's why we do it, right? So we got him at 24 degrees. 24 degrees. And he is going to be trining. That's a gift. That's a beautiful gift. But I'm telling you, if you try to overthink it and figure out what this gift is, he's going to be like, oh, you were going to get that gift, but now you're going to get something else. Like, that's Uranus. He wants to shock and awe. He needs that reaction from you. Now, why? Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean you have to be like, oh my God. You can be like, or you can be like, wow, right? He just wants the reaction. But what he's trying to get you to is to freedom. That's what he wants you to feel. That's what he wants you to know. That's what he wants you to stand in. So you have been working with him in Taurus for a while, and I'll be doing my Uranus video, right? For a while, you've been working. We've all been working with him. I can't even remember how many years. Anyway, this Taurus is Uranus was trying to help us understand that we are the most resourceful people, humans, right? You specifically, wherever Taurus is in your house and Uranus has been there, you were afraid. Things were taken away. The rug got swept out from under you. But you made it. You did it. You became resourceful. You redirected. You listened. You went and studied. You did whatever. You took an extra job. You blah, blah, blah. And it had to do with your security because that's Taurus, right? Your sense of security in the physical. That's Taurus, right? And Uranus had come in there. Thank you for whoever subscribed. I didn't see it. And Uranus came in there, and every time you felt attached, you felt little, you felt like you couldn't, you felt like you weren't enough, it wasn't enough, there wasn't enough. He was like, oh no. And he just, I'm going to take that. I'm going to move this. But he's also like, he's not Pluto. He's also like, here comes a friend. Here comes somebody that actually loves people. Here comes somebody that does the right thing for you. Here comes somebody that's going to shock you because you're thinking they want you for a reason and they just want to be with you. That's Uranus in working, okay? So there's a gift here for you. But you need to release something here for that gift to come through so that you can experience. And the gift has to do with, as I release my energy and no longer need that thing, that place, that person, that relationship, I understand myself better. I'm feeling freer. I'm feeling better. That's when Uranus is like, yeah, let me show you what freedom brings. Let me show you. Here's your gift. You've made room for the gift because you completed, you let go, you stopped with the attachment. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, it's a solar eclipse, but its energy is over here. The sun is going to eclipse all of this. It's going to like bam, bam, bam. So you don't have to do anything. You can do the rituals for a full moon, you know, whatever it is, if that makes you comfortable. Right? Remember, Saturn's been working on our belief systems. Those are important to you. Those you've been working hard on for the last 3 years. What do I believe? Not what they told me to believe. Not what I thought I saw to believe, but what do I actually believe, right? So I want to honor that for each one of you. If you feel like you need to do the steps, the ritual, whatever, the one that I tell you guys that I do, you know, taking the Epsom salt bath, putting light into the water, getting my journal out, having a clean space where I am making room, organizing, right? but this has to do with Virgo, right? Maybe you're, because this is the thing, and I actually talked to Kathy about this. The thing about Virgo, the most beautiful thing about Virgo is that a Virgo can come into your life and anybody's life and love them when they can't love themselves. And they will love you they will love you in that way until you're capable of loving yourself. Okay? Doesn't mean they won't stay, like they're going to leave after they that you're fine. That's not what that means. It means that they have this innate healing in them that will hold that space and give you that love until you learn to do it yourself. Does that make sense? The issue is that a Virgo can get too attached and want to fix it when it no longer needs to be fixed. Does that make sense? Okay. Right. Right. And they will continue to try to fix you. Not all Virgos. I'm saying I'm saying that because that could be something that you do in your life that you know better than to do, but it's your Virgo area. It's where you just cannot stop it. You got to really learn the boundaries there, really balance that out. It could be that. It could be that it's just time to let it go. You're not even the same person you were 2 years ago. You're not even the same person you were a year ago. There's some things that just need to be gone. And those things are holding you back from the vibration of those new things coming in. Right? So if you want to actively, consciously do those rituals, take those steps to do the full moon, right? If that gets your body and your soul in your avatar, in your meat suit, if that gets it ready for the closure so that you can receive, then that's what it takes. That's not a right or wrong. It's just who you are. It's who you want to be in this world. Aries, North Node, our identity. We're about to go into this part where we're going to identify in a certain way. And we have this Chiron wound dealing with it. Okay? So, not just that. So you've got a trine, a gift coming. There's nothing you have to do for this. You can if you want, but there's really nothing that you have to do for this. Okay? So you have this trine to the moon, which means you're going to feel this. You're going to feel it. What are you going to feel? I don't know. Depends on your chart. That's why you go see astrologers, right? That's why you join my group. That's why you join my membership, so you can ask those questions. Well, how? I don't know. How do you see it? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? That's kind of up to you. What's going on in your phase of your chart, right? But you're going to feel it, whatever this is, okay? But not just that, Uranus also has the sextile. So as it's giving you a gift, it's sextiling the sun. That's an opportunity. I just explained an opportunity about 30 minutes ago when I told you guys about the dubbing for my channel, right? I had no idea. It's Uranus. Came from nowhere. Had no idea. I was sitting down and I was working. I was doing my passion. I was doing what I love. I love doing those videos and giving you awareness. I love going in because it gives me an opportunity not just to help you, but it gives me an opportunity to channel, to speak to the planets, to speak to the universe, right? So I was doing my passion. I was doing what I love. I was doing it with an open heart because I love my group, right? And here comes this email. Guess what? You're one of the first ones that are going to get dubbed on your videos. Wow, right? That's an opportunity. That's what this is. That's not exactly what it is for you, but I'm saying it's what you think it's going to be. It's probably not going to be, or you're not even aware that it's coming, right? That has to do with your sun. This area is completing as well, but it's only to another level so that you can be clearer over here. Because you're going to take from here and move it here as you start. The beginning of 2026 is when it'll finalize, where you're like, oh, now it is, right? So Not just that, not just those two, right? There so this sun, North Node, this sun, this eclipse, the whole eclipse is talking to this North Node as it's talking to the South Node, as it's talking to Saturn. So you're gonna feel restriction, right? It's like, okay, I completed this. Why won't this go forward? That's Daddy Saturn, right? I know most astrologers call him Grandpa, but he's Daddy to me. Okay, that's why I'm not in that community because I don't play by the same rules as everybody else plays. Okay, it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. Okay, they're not. I don't. I don't think that I'm better than anybody. I think we're all the same. So anyway, that's Daddy Saturn. Daddy Saturn is like, hold on. I just got to make sure. Calm down. It's coming. Right? There's delays. There's restriction. You're going to feel like, wait, I've already done, like, I let that go. Okay. Like, come on. And Daddy Saturn's going to be like, let's just calm down a little bit. Just calm down. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. Right? And then we have this Neptune that's like, you're like, but I see it. I feel it. I think I see what I think I see. I don't know. It's at 29 degrees, right? And you're like, this is the sense I've always had. I know it's feeling a little off. That's your North Node. I just gotta do this. I know there's an ending to that. There isn't, but we always gonna feel like I gotta like get that. I gotta get that. That's the North Node. That's the portal we're moving to. Okay? So that's happening, but not just that. I'm looking at the sun that's septile to Pluto. Okay, so this sun is septile to Pluto. Okay, a lot of people don't talk about septiles, but this sun being septile to Pluto, that's fate as well. That's what that aspect is. That's fate being pulled together, right? So with fate being pulled together, it's like you're part of fate, right? Like I know it's fate and destiny, but you are a part of it, and so you sense it and you feel it. Well, a septile is you sensing it and wanting to be pulled together. Like you have this want to do it. You have this compulsion to do it, right? And but you can't see it, but you have this compulsion. That's what I was talking about. But Saturn's over there like, calm down. But you have the septile to Pluto that's like, you're powerful. You can do this. I know you can. Yes, there's fear. Yes, but you're aware and you know, and you're going to do this, right? That's, and you're being pulled. You're going to feel this like that, right? Um, and the way through that, the way to deal with that is to use your intuition, because then you'll confuse yourself and be like, well, I feel it, but I don't see it. I cannot see the way to go. Aquarius, like if you don't see it, you won't move. You have to use your intuition with septile. Okay. What do you sense? What is your knowing? You got to use those senses. Okay. That's all on the same day. Okay. Everything that I'm telling you is all on the same day. And so begins that energy grouped together for 6 months. Okay. Make sense? Not just that. There's more. There's more. Yeah, the septile is harmonics. It's a different one. I told you, I'm not one astrologer or the other. I pull from all kinds of different places. I have been studying astrology since the first book I picked up at, I don't remember, 5 to 7 years old. I don't remember. Anyway, so yes, and trust me, I know astrologers would be horrified. They'd be like, oh my God, she's not playing by the rules. I'm an Aquarius. We don't ever play by the rules. I'm a Sagittarius. We don't play by the rules. We don't play by the rules. We make our own rules. But we go by the guidelines. Like it's valid. It means something, right? Anyway, so then still we have this great opportunity, right? So this is Pluto. So I told y'all Pluto was talking to me. He's like, Remember, don't forget about me. And I'm like, no, sir, we are not forgetting about you. Okay? So tell me what you got to tell me. So, and if you've never seen me before, I am a medium. So these planets, I can get into their energy, and that's what I do. I translate, I can communicate, right? So, anyway, there is this sextile to Neptune, 29-degree here, right? So, this sextile to Neptune, this is the bigger picture of not just us personally, but what's going on around us. Okay. So I'm going to try to break it down a little bit. Right. So this Neptune sextile Pluto is like seeing yourself move with the group working together. So as a group, we are going to, this is an opportunity that we have not just for ourselves, but for this earth and this life and this society and this humankind, right? We know we're changing. We can see it all over, right? And we're aware. And so we have these thoughts, right? And so when this sextile comes about, this is telling me that we need to work together as a society and on a personal level, right? But there is a transformation happening. Pluto, Neptune, where dreams are, right? With this with this sextile, you will not see it clearly. We're dealing with Neptune at 29 degrees. Remember, know thyself, right? That's how we do it. Know thyself, right? So we will not see it clearly. And I'm talking about for us as a group, as humans, as communities, as this group, right? Know thyself. But understand that we're not going to see it clearly, but we are going to want to work together to progress to this next level that we're sensing. Does that make sense? And there's an opportunity that wants to come in and help us do that, right? So, with Pluto, what do we say? We're working with fear. There could be some fear brought. Um, there could be, yeah. So we won't see it clearly, but what we want to do is use our other senses, Neptune, right? There's going to be some fear there. So you're going to need to use your intuition, know yourself. You're going to, some of you have the knowing, some of you are psychic, some of you, whatever, some of you are energy readers, right? This is what we all need to use to kind of feel our way into this thing that we want to create as we're leaving, as we're trying to transform this area, right? Because this area, this is where this area is, not just on our level, but on a human level, right? We're going to need to work together. But to work together, we're going to need to use our intuition, our other senses, as well as our physical senses, right? So I'm trying to see how to get that. So the fear that could be coming up for some, not everybody, there could be fear brought to your attention, right? So when you see fear out in the world, basically is what I'm trying to say. When you're seeing fear out in the world, or when you're seeing something out in the world and it makes you kind of jerk and you're a little bit afraid, right? Don't be afraid. Use your intuition, use your other senses, okay? Because you're going to have this sense where, like, I want to break through, but I'm afraid. Like, I want to be able to say this and do this, but I'm afraid because what would other people think? This is a group thing, right? What would other people think? Am I seeing all sides of the situation? Am I running on just my ego, or is that imbalance as well, right? So I'm telling you, the way through this is your wisdom. That's the way through this. Know thyself and your wisdom. And you get to balance that, right? In some cases, for some of you, You usually do what others want you to do and not what you want you to do. Well, guess what? This time you need to do what you want to do. For others, it maybe it's that you do what you want to do all the time and don't do what others don't work well in groups, right? Maybe it's time for that. Whatever this is, you need to use your wisdom, your intuitions. Intuition. I'm saying intuitions, but I mean your other six senses. Does that make sense? Yeah, perfect. Remember, when we're dealing with Pluto, when he brings up that fear, do it. Do it. Do it, change it, do it. The biggest rewards. The biggest reward. Something I have not talked about, and I was reminded of today just speaking, is that Pluto, like when he's in your second house, it is so bad to be in your second house. Like that's a horrible placement, right? Um, but Pluto's the billionaire. Pluto is money you could never spend in a lifetime. He's generational. He's all like several lives. As long, so just, you know how when I talk to you about Pluto, you guys about Pluto, and I'm like, time to drop the baggage, quit carrying the baggage through your lives. And I'm not talking about just one life, I'm talking about all those lives, right? Like you've been holding baggage, your baggage, you've been carrying it for all those lives. That's his energy. That means if it's money, if it's abundance, if it's relationship, whatever this is, wherever Pluto is for you, it could be that much. It's like exponential. It's huge what he gives you. It's huge once you are not in fear. It's huge, right? That makes sense. And I'm saying that because the next aspect of the way that they're talking is Venus retrograde. This is important. They're all important to me, but a lot of people like the love relationship aspect, right? So this Pluto Venus retrograde, sextile and Venus retrograde, this could show you if you, so there's an opportunity here to show you that maybe you've been way too focused for too long, forming emotional, personal, I need coffee, sorry, emotional, why can't I say that? Emotional, personal attachments, right? But for others, it could mean that. It could mean that, like, there's an opportunity for you to actually see this and release this, right? We're dealing with an eclipse, right? Um, but for others, this could be that at the same time, this could be what you're feeling is like at the same time that you want to be close and personal and have an attraction, uh, in relationships, like you want to have that, like you so desperately want to have that. Um, at the same time that you're wanting that, this is Venus retrograde, right? So Venus retrograde, as it's talking to Pluto, there's an opportunity for you to really investigate. Remember what Venus is asking us. Are you keeping your boundaries? Are you loving yourself? Are you understanding about love and how you want that, right? Like all of that. So when these two are talking and she's retrograde, you could have this feeling like, I so want a deep, personal marriage or partnership or some sort of relationship, or I want a business partner that's really, really, that I could totally trust and whatever, right? Like whatever, those relationships, you could so want to like let go and just have that relationship, but there's fear there, right? That's Pluto. So you want to be able to break through this wall that you have kept up and cannot figure out how to let go of or tear down, right? This is what could be happening with some people. Yet, you just want to like bust through that wall, yet you're afraid to be too vulnerable, to lose yourself. And again, we need to use our wisdom. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So, in order to, what could be happening is that you're trying to transform relationships. You're trying to transform your understanding and the way that you're wanting. Remember, it's retrograde. We don't need to do anything. We just need to check in with ourselves. Okay. But I'm just trying to describe what could be going on from now until the next four months, basically. Right. So, not just that, there's more. Then this moon sextiles Mars. We have been working with Mars just recently before he went direct. And we're still working on him, but he's kind of been in the background because all these other things are going on. But I had said when he was retrograde, I don't care how you change I don't care how when you see the old pattern, I don't care how you change it, just change it. Change it. That's how we speak to the universe. That's how we speak to Earth. That's how we speak to Mother Earth. That's how we speak to life. We don't speak to it in a language that like we're talking. We speak to it by action, by patterns, by things like that, right? So I had said, change the pattern, change the pattern, change the pattern. I don't care which way you change it, but that's signaling to the universe that you want something different, right? And this had to do with you protecting you and the ones you love and the situations you love and the relationships you love and whoever you thought was in your group. That's what you were doing that's what you are doing continuously right now in Cancer, right? It's going to move back to Leo, and I did do a video about that actually, right? So it's sextile. There's an opportunity here for you to break through something, right? Whatever this protection that you needed, whatever this, like, I'm not going to let this happen. This is my love. These are my loves, right? Like I've already showed you, universe, I changed the pattern. This is where the universe comes back to you with this moon. This is felt. It's your moon. It's your perspective. It's the way that you see things, right? So it's going to, with Mars, give you something, an opportunity to be able to have that. If that takes you having a house to be able to protect your own, you're going to have an opportunity for that. If that takes you for you to get a new job in a different position, that's what's going to happen, right? If that takes you to win the lottery and that's what happens, I mean, I hate to use that because then people start like just focusing on that. It's whatever you had called out to protect yourself and your own and what you love. That's this opportunity in this eclipse. Remember, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is take an action when it comes, right? But you don't have to do anything to get it, okay? Because it's an eclipse. That makes sense? And then the last thing is we have this moon. Again, we're going to be feeling a lot of this. It's the moon, right? Closure. There's an ending that needs to happen for this opportunity to have. That's why it's important, because the eclipse can come and eclipse it, and then you're just sitting there thinking about it and trying to attach to it when it's something that you don't even need anymore, right? So just let it go. Let it go, right? It's not like you can't ever have it again and not come back in a different life and do it in a different way, but have that experience, right? Like we do that all the time. But I know that's beyond people's thinking, but I'm trying to like help you understand you don't have to attach to it, okay? So the last thing is that this moon is going to be quincunx Uranus. I mean, not Uranus, Chiron. I was looking at Uranus as I said Chiron, as I was pointing to Chiron. Okay, so there's a quincunx. Now, those of you that have been with me understand a quincunx, right? Remember, it's two planets that have nothing in common, but there is something that needs to be resolved. There's a problem, right? And they must work together. Again, my astrology is very different than most people's astrology on here, on any other platform, okay? There is a difference in the wound of Chiron than the wound of Pluto. It's a big difference. This is not a wound you are going to heal completely. I wish other people would like start to mention that, because what happens is somebody will begin to try to completely heal this wound, and it's not ever going to heal. It's the wrong wound you're looking at it. You need, if it's a wound that you can heal, that's Pluto. This, you're not meant to. It's not like you can't. It's that you're not meant to. right? Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have healing in that wound where it's not so sore and it's not constant and it doesn't hurt where it's overwhelming you, right? There can be some alignment, there can be some healing, but it is never going to completely heal. It's not meant to. It's meant for you to be able to work with it because it gives you the drive and ambition to help others once you figure some of it out. Does that make sense? Okay. So just understand that there is a problem that these two have, that you have, wherever this lunar eclipse is and wherever your Aries is. This is a big house. If you aren't if you haven't joined my group, I'm starting to channel. I'm trying to like come back down. If you haven't joined my membership, this is a good time to join it. I am explaining in these videos that I just released per sign what we're doing with Pisces and Aries, and it's really important because it goes on through 2026, okay, to the beginning of 2026. We have this wound here that needs to be released, like some of the air taken out, some completion, some understanding, some way to move forward. These two have a problem. You have a problem in this area and this area that needs to be resolved. Okay? That's what's going to be going on that day. We know energy doesn't stop or start. It's flowing. It transmutes. It changes, right? But this energy and that all that's happening, that's for the next 4 months, up until 6 months, right? For a lot of you, it's already started happening. It's about to start happening, and it isn't even the 13th or 14th yet, right? Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Couldn't do this work without you. I am going to go eat and relax and be with my grandbaby, and my daughter. I love your face. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.